Hey, what's up guys, it's Lee and welcome back to the channel. Now this video is going to be for anybody who is a beginner photographer and you're looking to start building out your very first portrait photography kit. So this video is going to basically kind of give you an idea or the rundown in terms of the gear that you need to actually establish yourself as a portrait photographer with a nice basic photography kit. Now, just to kind of kick things off, the very first thing you're going to want to have, of course, is going to be a camera. You cannot be a portrait photographer without a camera, right? And I definitely recommend, if you can afford it, getting a full frame camera just off the bat. If you can do it, go ahead and do it. You don't have to get the latest and greatest. Maybe you can get something like this, like the Sony a7R III or the Sony a7 III, something that is a little bit newer, but not the very newest thing if money is an issue. You can always, of course, get an APS-C camera like the Sony a6700 or a6400. The lenses you're gonna buy for those cameras are gonna be APS-C lenses, which are cheaper, but in the long run, you're gonna want to get full frame lenses anyway, because you're probably gonna start purchasing full frame cameras. The other thing as well is that these full frame cameras, they always have at least 2 card slots as well. And that's really just gonna be something that's going to give you a peace of mind when it comes down to capturing portraits for your clients, where you're not going to have to worry about going home and finding out that the single SD card in there is corrupted. You're going to have 2 copies of that with these cameras as well. So that's why I recommend that. I definitely recommend you start there. Next, you're going to want to pick up a lens for your camera as well. And the first lens I'm going to recommend is going to be a lens that is very versatile. It's going to be something that is going to last you for a very long time, and it's going to be extremely useful depending on the different portraits that you're going to be taking. And that lens is going to be the 24-70 f2.8. They do have an f2 for like Canon as well, but this is a Sigma lens for Sony. It's an f2.8. It's a 24-70. It's a great lens. It's amazing. But the reason why you want to pick up a lens like this is, again, it's very versatile. You can take very wide shots on the 24 end or more telephoto shots at the 70 focal length. And it's just gonna really take some really nice photos as well. You want the f2.8 because you're gonna have some nice creamy blurry bokeh in the background, which is gonna be really nice. And then also you're gonna be able to use that lens in, you know, a variety of different lighting situations, because f2.8 is pretty decent when it comes down to different lighting scenarios as well. So honestly, if you're starting out, if you have the camera and the 24-70, you can actually take on a lot of different gigs just with these 2 things, like just with the camera body and the lens, and you will be completely fine in natural light scenarios. And by the way, everything I'm talking about right now in this video is going to be for anybody who is taking portraits outdoors using natural light, okay? Or just natural light in general. We're not talking about off-camera flash or anything like that, because that's going to be for another video. And that's also going to be for down the line as you build your kit out a lot more, or you get better at photography as well and you want to start to use off-camera lights and things like that. So once you have the zoom lens and the camera body, the next thing I recommend is going to be a prime lens. Now, there are 2 different prime lenses that I think that you should get, and it doesn't really matter what order you get them in, but I'm going to give my recommendation. So the next lens I think that you should get is going to be the 85mm lens. This is a Sony 85 f1.8, and this is a great lens. It's not super duper expensive, but it is a great lens. And you want to use an 85mm lens in portrait photography because it creates some great compression in your photos. Also, the bokeh with the 1.8 is going to be really, really nice, and your portraits are just going to be really nice. Like I'm telling you, you're going to be like, why did I not get this first? But you got this one first because it's very versatile. It's going to last you a long time, and you have lots of different focal lengths to work with. So don't just skip here. But once you have this is a nice second lens to pick up. So next, I definitely recommend that you pick up a 50mm lens like this Sony G Master f1.4. Again, the bokeh on this is going to be really, really nice. And this is also a 50mm lens, which is the focal length that is closest to what we see as humans in terms of what we see out of our eyes. So this is more true to life when it comes down to the portraits that you're going to be taking. And so this is a really versatile focal length as well. There's some portrait photographers that really like only use a 50 and that's it, and they're perfectly happy doing that. But this is going to be also a really great focal length. The compression is nice as well, and it just takes beautiful photos, honestly. So definitely recommend this as well as that next lens. And again, you can get the 85 first or the 50 first, but you definitely just want to get a nice prime lens, either the 85 or the 50 next. So once you have those, again, you are well on your way to you're just taking some great photos. People are calling you up all the time, right? You have great gear right here, right? The next thing you want to pick up though is going to be something that's not as fun, right? And that's going to be a tripod. You want a tripod because it's going to basically allow you to, put your camera in one, central place and just continuously take photos. That is going to be great for portraits like family photos and things like that, where you don't want the background to change, but you're going to be taking lots of photos. It's just going to make your editing a lot better, and it's just going to be more seamless. Also, as the light changes outdoors, if it gets a little bit darker, the sun starts to go down, this is also going to help to eliminate any camera shake as well. So if you have shaky hands, that's going to help to eliminate that. And it's also going to let you shoot at lower shutter speeds as well, as it gets darker, without having to worry about, again, that camera shake. So after you have all of those things, the next thing I'm going to recommend that you get is a 5-in-1 reflector. You're like, what is that? It's exactly what it sounds like. There's 5 different reflectors that come in this one kit. And a lot of times they're round, or they're sort of like a elongated oval. But essentially what it does is it helps to reflect the light back onto your subject. So for instance, if you're taking a portrait outside and the light is just a little bit too harsh at that moment, and you want to actually soften up the shadows on the other side of your subject's face, well, you can use the reflector on the side to bounce the light and create some softness here on this side of the face. And that's just gonna really make your photos pop a lot more. And then also it's gonna help you just kind of get the look that you're going for when it comes down to taking those photos. So I definitely recommend a 5-in-1 reflector. And the good thing about that as well is that it comes with different reflectors, because you're like, oh, it's 5-in-1, right? So there's white, there's silver, there's gold, there's even black. So you kind of get a range of different, options when it comes down to reflecting the light, and that's exactly what you want. So once you have all of those things, you are definitely well on your way. And at that point, you have established a nice basic portrait photography kit. And again, you can take on any photography gig and be perfectly happy and not have to worry at all. The only other thing that I would recommend that you get along the way is going to be an additional camera body. And that can be the same camera body or something a little bit cheaper that you're not worried about. But you want to do that because mistakes happen, things happen, your camera can break, can stop working. And the last thing you want to do is be on a photo shoot and your camera doesn't work and you don't have a backup. That sucks. And your clients are not going to be happy about that. So definitely get a backup camera as well. And I think once you have all those things, again, you can be very confident in your portrait photography business and just take on, like I said, just about any portrait photography gig, and everyone's going to be very happy. Obviously you have to be a good photographer. I'm sure that you are. But once you have that gear, you're gonna be well on your way. And I think that is basically all that you need. Obviously, get a bag or something to put your gear in. We can talk about that later. But that is all you need to have a nice basic portrait photography kit. Now, if you like this video, definitely hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this one. If you have any other ideas in terms of some gear that maybe you might want to start out with that I didn't mention here, definitely leave that in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.